Punch TV out of my mama have channel you so make sure say and then the first time I do channel you and not just subscribe and my like share we will so be our share our comment section or edit the Punch TV the about man 70 and just say them back and them for and say story be about social media and so just say agent ye abusuan for mon come home my uncle story na embra ye buy the emunche mu na ebebrem.
That perhaps has fortified his position. Makes him, so he said the speaker must declare. Which is there's precedence that makes him believe that that should be the position of the speaker. Nancy, share that with us.
Okay, so this is 7th November 2020. Election 2020, Speaker declares Fomena Parliamentary seats vacant. Now, Speaker of Parliament, Professor Mike Oquaye, has declared the Fomena Parliamentary seats vacant. The declaration follows the decision of the NPP MP to contest for re-election as an independent candidate after he lost the party primary. Quote, with all intent and purposes, he is no longer a member of the party. He has pronounced himself publicly as an independent and has filed his papers to compete against the party in his official candidate He has filed his papers to compete against the party in his official candidate as an independent on 7th December 2020, end quote, the speaker said on Saturday. This comes on the back of a letter by the leadership of the NPP to expel Andrew Amoako-Siama, the incumbent MP, from the party after he decided to run as an independent candidate in the upcoming general elections. So the party actually wrote a letter. President Akufo-Addo at a Deba in Fomena on Wednesday also expressed his disappointment in Fomena MP's refusal to rescind the decision. Mr. Amoako-Siama had told newsmen that he is not leaving the 7th Parliamentary Parliament despite a request to send him packing. Quote, if they have sacked me, I am still part of them. They are saying they have dismissed me, but I am still winning for the party, he told newsmen. Parliamentary, okay. So that, but speaking on the floor, Professor Mike Oquaye read the ruling in support of the NPP's request for Mr. Isiama's seat to be rendered vacant. Quote, having forfeited the membership of his party on whose ticket he was elected to Parliament. Let me take that again. Quote, having forfeited the membership of the party on whose ticket he was elected to Parliament, the operative language of the Constitution is that he shall, which is mandatory, vacate his seat in Parliament. But according to the Speaker, it will be absurd that where any sitting MP will be campaigning against the party that he or she represents in Parliament and yet ridiculously stands against the party, end quote. So that is the ruling, the pronouncement of the Speaker at the time. Okay. So he believes that no purposeful interpretation of the law would allow such ridicule to prevail. The Speaker further explained that the decision had the full backing of the Constitution to which the incumbent MP, Mr. Isiama, subscribed. So then he quoted Article 97, 1 clause G that you just read. So that's it.
Okay, great. Now, let's share with you that particular video.
Of a particular situation is anticipated under the 1992 Constitution. In the circumstances, Parliament it is determined that the conduct of Honorable Andrew Amoako-Siama amounts to vacating his seat in Parliament. Accordingly, we bring this to the notice of the Electoral Commission for the necessary action to be taken in accordance with the law.
Well, that's the Speaker of Parliament then, Professor Mike Oquaye, declaring the Fomena seat vacant because Andrew Amoako-Siama had decided to contest that as an independent candidate. This is a story from October 13, 2020. And it says the ruling New Patriotic Party has revoked the membership of members who have filed as independent parliamentary candidates in the upcoming general elections. Citing Article 39 of the party's constitution, The party's General Secretary, John Boyd, in a statement on Tuesday said when members filed their nomination, they automatically forfeited their membership. Quote, equally, by this constitutional injunction, any member of the party who supports or campaign for independent parliamentary candidate ahead of the forthcoming general election also automatically forfeits his or her membership of the New Patriotic Party. I think in the case of, you can go back to the case of Vivian and what happened to the party members. Let's go and speak to Honorable Inu Safoseni, who is former member of Parliament for Tamale Central. At the time, he was the ranking member on the Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee. I remember, Honorable, good morning, and I hope you're well.
Good morning, and I was your journey with Tamale and your thing Tamale.
Tamale is always a nice place to be. Just that the journey when you go by bus is very tiring.
Yeah. The road network is bad. The journey is far. So if you don't have a comfortable vehicle, you get there, you become very tired.
Well, it's nice to have you on the line. And I recall vividly at the time when the Fomena decision was made, your opinion was largely about the speaker not allowing for arguments or for debate from members of parliament. But first, what do you make of the suggestion made by Honorable Haruna Idrisu on the issue of, let's say, Cynthia Mamle Morrison and some other MPs of the New Patriotic Party, and he says one from the NDC who have decided to go independent, that their seats should be declared vacant?
Well, thank you, Senator, for inviting me to speak on this matter. And so until the last parliament, that is the 7th parliament, the issue has been a matter of concern because Article 97 is quite clear that when voted into parliament on a ticket of a party or as an independent member of parliament, you cannot, while in parliament, cross over to another party or declare yourself as independent. And so, because of the calendar of the Electoral Commission, and then the fact that nominations are open about 3 months to elections, and the constitutional provision that says that by-elections cannot be held in less than 3 months to a general election, the issue has been a matter that has attracted the attention of Parliament for a long time, until in the 7th Parliament, when Azegasiama, presently the second Deputy Speaker, while in Parliament on the ticket of the NPP, decided to contest his seat as an independent candidate. There, the NPP party took decisive steps against Asiama by revoking his membership of their party and also petitioned the Speaker to declare his seat vacant. And Speaker Okwe went ahead to do that. Speaker Okwe did not give us the opportunity to debate. He just read the provisions of the Constitution and the petition presented to him by his party and ruled on the matter. And that was our concern. We thought that as a speaker, you are not a member of parliament. And so you allow for members of parliament to decide on the matter on the floor, and then you implement their decision.
But going back to how you started, you're suggesting that many speakers would have avoided this perhaps in the past because you have about a few months, let's say less than 2 months to the election. This decision essentially means that the people, any decision taken, for example, will mean that somebody like Cynthia Mamle Morrison Gomoa West do not have parliamentary representation.
Yes, that's for that period. For that period, they don't have parliamentary representation, just like in Akiyama's case, his constituency did not have parliamentary elections when the speaker ruled that he was otherwise not eligible to sit in parliament by reason of contesting his constituency seat on the ticket of an independent candidate.
But you seem not to disagree with the position that Michael Kwe took at the time, even though you say that it should be the decision of the members of parliament.
But that's not what the Constitution says. That's what the Constitution says. But for me, I just thought that in any case, the decision would have come to the same thing. At that time that we were in parliament, NPP had the majority, overwhelming majority in Parliament. NPP had revoked the membership of Asiama. NPP had petitioned the Speaker. So it stands to reason that even if the Speaker had allowed the debate, the decision would have come to the same thing, that Asiama should be declared vacant. But because what the Speaker did is not known to parliamentary practice, I thought that the best way and approach to the matter was for the Speaker to inform the House of the receipt of a petition to declare the seat of Asiama vacant and make that a subject, a matter for debate on the floor of the House, and then the Speaker can then, a decision will be taken and the Speaker can pronounce on the decision.
And clearly it looks like in this case, from listening to Rambo Haruna Idrisu, if nobody raises the matter, he intends to do that. So what you are expecting in this case is that Honorable Bagbin does differently from Professor Michael Kwe in terms of how to approach it.
So what I'm expecting is that Honorable Haruna Idrisu will raise the matter, and it is within his right as a member of Parliament to raise the matter and also to give effect to the provisions of the Constitution. As a dutiful citizen of this country and as a member of Parliament, he has a duty to uphold the provisions of the Constitution. And so he is well within his constitutional right to raise the matter. Now, on the floor of the House. Now, Bagbin has two options. One, there is now precedent in the case of Asiama that when the matter was raised, it was not subject to debate. And so when the matter is raised, Bagbin might decide that he will subject the matter to debate and will rule accordingly. He will be acting consistent with the precedent, and Parliament works by precedent and convention. So he will be within his right. Or he then sets a new precedent, depart from what Michael Kwe did, and subject the matter to a thorough debate on the floor now.
Well, having said that, I guess you might be. Are you surprised that a New Patriotic Party, they are not the people who are raising this issue, considering they raised it in a CMS case comfortably?
I'm surprised, and I think that they are doing that in their self-interest, because they know that Parliament is so configured that any attempt to remove Morrison from Parliament will kill the balance of power. They know that. And they know that within the next few months will be critical if they want to do anything at all in Parliament. And so they are quite aware that if they take a decision similar to the decision that they took in their Asiama case, they'll be doing that to their disadvantage. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
And considering Honorable Haruna Idrisu counts up to about 4 or 3 members of the New Patriotic Party who are in this situation. Now, that would essentially tilt the balance of power in Parliament, the decision that will be taken. Now, I guess then the thing to expect from the NPP is resistance. Even if they do resist, it looks like it will be futile.
That would be you are tempting the NPP. That would be a weak resistance, because you can't approve it and reprove it. They in the 7th Parliament took a decision to revoke the membership of their party, of Asiama, of their party. And so they will be very inconsistent if they raise any objection to the motion filed by Haruna to remove those people from Parliament by declaring their seats vacant.
Well, we'll see what transpires, because it will only be tomorrow. So tomorrow, we'll be watching out for what happens. In the meantime, I don't know if your attention has been drawn to the decision taken by the High Court in terms of Cynthia Mamle Morrison, the injunction placed on the processes towards her election.
Is it the High Court or the District Court? Because some newspapers are reporting the District Court. Are you sure that it is the High Court?
Okay. I'm just looking through.
You are perfectly right. When I saw the report that it was a District Court, I thought probably there is more to it than reported, because it appears to me that this is a matter of human rights, and the decision to contest or not contest an election should be a matter to be determined by the High Court. But most people actually reported the District Court. Then I was asking myself, what jurisdiction as the district court have in an election matter. Apart from an offense, criminal offense.
In this case, the story I'm looking through, to be very frank, no court was mentioned.
Okay, but the stories I have read mentions the district court, and that sort of kept me wondering on what basis did the petitioners go to court for the injunction.
Now, and my colleagues are just drawing my attention to another story, and the story says Cynthia Morrison, a former minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, has hit a major roadblock in her political career. A district magistrate court in Agona Swedru has injuncted her from holding herself as a parliamentary candidate in the 2024 election. So this is they are saying a district magistrate court.
Yes, so yes, I thought that in matters concerning elections, the proper forum is the High Court. But the story doesn't talk about what the injunction was sought for and what motivated that injunction. So we all read into that by saying that, well, because he's contested as an independent candidate. That might not be the case, but the report doesn't help us by telling us what the petitioners went to court for and what were the facts that supported their application.
Well, those are very germane issues you've raised, and I've read through the two stories that they've put before me so far. None of them cites exactly why, because in the case of the publisher, it says 3 concerned Ghanaians, Emmanuel Addison, Solomon Nyako, and Harrison K. Aglago, all residents of Agona Swedru, dragged both Cynthia Morrison, first defendant, and the Electoral Commission to court, seeking to restrain them from pursuing the independent candidacy agenda. That's all.
Yeah, so what is the basis? What would be found to support that conveys the court to grant the injunction?
But in the meantime, I'm wondering if you know what happens in this case, having contested many elections, because the court is saying is not only restraining her from continuing to hold herself as parliamentary candidate, it was also restraining the second defendant from proceeding with the nomination of Cynthia Morrison as an independent parliamentary nominee until the matter is fully determined.
Well, this case, Cynthia Morrison knows what to do, and for me, I just think I'll leave it at that, because she's the one being restrained by the court, and so she knows what to do.
Well, Honorable, thank you very much for speaking. By the way, have you heard the $500 million that they were using to support farmers who had suffered from the drought is on the grounds? Have you gotten your share?
In the 2020 elections, NPP's strategy was to send money to people by Momo. So they said poverty alleviation, and they were sending it to their members and some vulnerable members of the NDC and other political parties to influence their decision to vote for their party. Now, the 2024 elections, nature itself presented another opportunity to the NPP. The first opportunity was COVID. The second opportunity was the drought. So they immediately capitalized upon the drought and set aside so much, 500 million Ghana to intervene. I have not gotten anything, neither the fertilizer nor any assistance. And I know many farmers who have not gotten it. But the whole this project was executed as an NPP project. NPP parliamentary candidates and assistant members of parliament and the district chief executives were responsible for the disbursement of the money and the fertilizers.
Parliamentary candidates and district chief executives?
Yes, the candidates and the district chief executives. In fact, in some instances, the fertilizer moved from the Accra to the house of the parliamentary candidate. I mean, where I found the fertilizer moved directly to the house of the parliamentary candidate, and that is Yusuf Mustafa, the fourth minister. And so, actually, I have not I also read it in the news. I've not benefited from anything, even though my farms too were affected. And I didn't expect to benefit because they politicized the drought. The drought only seems to have affected only NPP members and not NDC members or any other political party.
Honorable, that sum of $500 million, and I remember the Polugu Dam project came before you when you were in Parliament. $500 million can do some significant work on the Polugu Dam and perhaps start to create a situation where in the future, if something like that happened, you have water that's accessible to you to use to water your farms. I guess I'm correct.
You're correct, very, very correct. But that is the order of priorities of the NPP for you. Their priority is the next election. They want to win the next election. And so they will rather use $500 million to influence the outcome of the election than invest it in the welfare of the people, and particular farmers, in the sense of building resilient irrigation facilities for the farmers to withstand the climate change conditions that we are presently experiencing. So, about the NPP, they don't think the way you think. They think about the preservation of their self-interest. And for them, spending $500 million on their own people and also vulnerable people, poor people, who will be influenced to cast their vote for them is their priority. I agree with you.
Thank you very much for speaking to us this morning.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Well, that's Honorable Inusa Fuseni, who's member of Parliament for former member of Parliament for Tamale Central.
The two constitution. In the circumstances, Parliament it is determined that the conduct of Honorable Andrew Amwaku Asiama amounts to vacating his seat in Parliament. Accordingly, we bring this to the notice of the Electoral Commission for the necessary action to be taken in accordance with the law.
And then to the Ghanaian media, on Tuesday, the Parliament of Ghana will reconvene. And when it reconvenes, I am very certain.
The Punch TV adofo no memo makwa haba channel yi so make sure say na first time I dey channel yi na just subscribe dey am no like no share we so be jawa dwen chire e comment section ho e dey am. The Punch TV dey ba man yosem dey na say dem ba an ye dem fo an say story bi aba o social media no so e say agent tren ha ye abusuafo mo nka me ho man ko story na embra ye ba ye dey emu nhye mu nyina e bebre.